hear how to make big money investing in real estate with none of your own money and very little of your own time. I'm going to share with you the most powerful real estate investing strategy where I'm finding the most success now. I'm going to take the next few minutes and give you the steps you can take to profit during doing this strategy today. There's a lot to share, but here it is, the system in a nutshell. First, you have to have the following people involved. You have to have a distressed seller, B, you, the investor, and C, the exit buyer. And here's the simplified version of this massive profit exit strategy. A sells to B, that is distressed seller, sells to you, the investor, and then you, the investor, B, sells to C, the exit buyer. The program takes two separate and distinct, fully funded and fully disclosed transactions, and then the filings of those transactions occur back to back. And to top it all off, someone else handles getting my discounted offers accepted by the bank and even funds my purchase. This makes my only task to find a motivated seller and a buyer who is looking for a good deal. I know what you are thinking. I don't know where to find these deals. What paperwork do I need? How can I fund when I don't even have the money? I have no idea where to find a buyer. Well, of course you don't. So before I go into detail, let me address these concerns. Number one, let's talk about short sale negotiations. You don't have to negotiate with the banks because I know the best negotiation team in the United States to refer to you. And there are a lot of other companies claiming to have bank negotiations, but I have not found anyone more qualified than the one I'm referring through my website. And anyone part of my Coaching You to Profits program can have access to them for free. I know many companies charging $1,000 or $2,000 a year just to have access. If you are not part of my coaching program, there still is a monthly fee option, but it's nowhere near that price. To check it out, you can go to www.deal.banks4u.com. Okay, so that hopefully will alleviate some of your short sale negotiation fears or your needing to have to become the perfect short seller. Number two, funding. The same website also provides resources to fund your transactions. Funding will not be a concern for you as an investor following this system. Your time and attention can be focused on finding and selling properties. Number three concern you might have is paperwork requirements for your area. You'll want to run your initial paperwork packet for this strategy by an experienced real estate attorney. In fact, I would never be in the real estate investing business without access to an attorney to review all that I do. Again, I know what you're thinking. That would be expensive too. Well, Coaching You to Profit provides a resource where you can sign up to have unlimited consultations with an experienced attorney for under $50 a month. And I'm going to give you a $50 refund check from Coaching You to Profit should you choose to do this, making your first month free. And you can sign up for this service at www.lowpriced, P-R-I-C-E-D, legalservices.com. And you're even able to cancel anytime. It's a month-to-month service. So that should alleviate your concerns about paperwork. And we also provide you with the basics of forms. We just want you to run them by your state's attorney just to make sure. Number four would be finding buyers to buy the good deals that you get. We go into great depth on this the very first weeks of Coaching You to Profits your way. In general, we begin placing ads for properties in free advertising sites like Craigslist even before we get control of a property. And you're going to be working with realtors who have a direct line with potential buyers for you. Okay, now that I've addressed some concerns that you might have, let's get to the steps I promised. Number one, finding the deal. Well, for this strategy, basically, I suggest focusing only on high-end properties to maximize your profits. Properties will need to meet certain other qualifications as well and are detailed in the downloadable report found on this page. There's lots of marketing tools to find these sellers. In fact, Coaching You to Profits Your Way teaches you 18 specific ways to find sellers that could potentially meet those requirements. However, I'm going to focus and tell you about one way that's working for me. I am going to focus on marketing to realtors. Since my system provides you with a powerful negotiation team and access to millions of dollars, you can feel confident knowing you will help the realtor to get their properties bought and sold. Coaching You to Profits Your Way also actually comes with a free marketing to realtor site. You can send realtors to this site, and you don't even have to talk if that's not your thing. I've seen these types of sites before, but I've always felt they didn't come across to realtors the right way. So I've created a site for my students to use in order to teach realtors how working with you can benefit them in English. So what are the realtor's qualifications? Well, I say an open mind and a positive attitude are most important. It's your goal to build a long-term relationship with those who are willing to work with a spirit of compliance and full disclosure when referring a seller to you. Be sure they understand that you are the buyer and do not wish to have your purchase price disclosed, and make sure the realtor understands the short sale is not a transaction they're going to be involved with once the paperwork is turned in. Until, of course, they receive their commissions check, of course. Steps to building relationships with the realtors are pretty simple. You're going to find potentially qualified realtors by looking for properties on MLS that say short sale or give words that make them like they would be kind of like a short sale. And we have a script on our coaching program that you could use to talk to the realtors if you're not sure or feeling comfortable about what to say. You're going to tell the realtors you're talking to something like this. Something like, you have a company you work with who manages 100% of the short sale process, including, but not limited to, the short sale package. And you will show your intent to purchase and resell their property, and this will be fully disclosed, acknowledged, and signed off by their seller. You would request from the realtor that you and your negotiation team are able to talk to the sellers. You need to disclose to them what you're doing as a buyer and make sure the seller is a good fit. If you were a realtor, wouldn't this sound like a catwalk to you? A cakewalk to you? Sorry about that. In summary, this is all the realtor has to do. Number one is assist in obtaining paperwork and documents. Number two, establish the listing history and show the property and keep you in the loop on that. Number three, keep you in the loop. Number four, contract the new buyer and attend the closing. And number five, collect their check. You make their job easier. So that's the steps in finding leads, because realtors should be, or I would be if I was a realtor, very eager to bring you the leads that you need to find motivated sellers. Step two, meet the seller and find out if they're a good fit. You're going to need to contact the seller directly to explain what your intentions are and how it can help them. Coaching You to Profits provides scripts so you can know exactly what to say to sellers too. You will make sure they are motivated and willing to provide the documents you need to be provided with, and then they're okay with that. And they're okay with you making a profit, because that's your goal, and they need to understand that. And you're going to have them sign disclosures to that effect. And then what are some of the qualifications you're going to look for? Well, it's similar to the realtors. You want someone with a good attitude and a seller who understands they have no other alternative or have already exhausted a mortgage modification or workout plan. You want to make sure they're really ready for the short sale. It takes a lot of time for a negotiation team to work out a plan with the banks. And therefore, it's important to have the sellers who are willing and able to provide, the negotiation team with what is needed. Sellers must be willing to release the realtor also of any fiduciary responsibility and recognize that they are working in a capacity with you as a buyer, who will be the only one given the opportunity to work and resell their property. I mean, there won't be any chance for any other buyers to come in. They will sign documents to this effect as well. So you want to make sure you have the right buyer that's okay with working with you in this manner. Step three is a property evaluation. You want to evaluate the property by asking your realtor to give you 2-line MLS comps for the area. And you're going to ask your realtor's opinion on what the current value of the property is based on the written comps, and then go from there. Your offer and the discount you're going to be able to receive on your property are largely dependent on the condition and attractiveness of the property. My team is experts at negotiating techniques to achieve the lowest possible discount. However, there are some general guidelines we can look at. The typical discount on a home in great condition and a good location, a pretty house, is 10 to 15% of current value. And then there's 15 to 30% discounts that can be achieved on properties with a marginal level of repairs or problems. And then discounts of greater than 30% can be achieved on ugly houses with proper justification. And we've achieved discounts ranging from 20 to 60% of the ARV after repair value on ugly houses. A little side note here, there's, these are only general guidelines. Every short sale is different, and there's many factors involved which determine the discount that can be obtained. Some factors we can control and impact, but others we can't. So we're on step 4 now. We're going to go on to step 4 out of 6 steps. So we're almost there. Step 4 is placing property in contract and you getting control of it. The paperwork for you to get the contract and gain control of the property varies state to state. You would want to work with an experienced investor or coach like me and your realtor and your title company to create your packet and then have all those documents reviewed prior to using them. It is important that you do this properly, assuring that you are following the laws as to not appear fraudulent in any way to the seller or the lender. It's very important. I have listed some of the paperwork you will probably need on the downloadable report found on this page. So step 5, creating equity, the short sale approval process. Once you turn in all the paperwork, you leave the negotiation team to do their job of getting the short sale approved. This can take 30 days, 120 days, or sometimes even more. You will only interact with the seller or the lender as the negotiation team requests you to. Other than that, you're done dealing with the property once the paperwork is turned in, unless the negotiation team requests additional documentation, or, of course, when it closes and you pick up your check. And you may be requested to meet the appraiser, who will give the BPO, which is the broker's price opinion, on the current value of the property. So that's it for step 5. And then step 6, last one, is selling, capturing the equity and profits. So let's recap how we started, only this time I'm going to add dollars to the description. We had A, the distressed seller. Now I'm going to add that they own a property that's worth $500,000 and they owe $750,000. Then we have B, you, the investor, and you're going to offer $350,000. And guess what? The bank accepts it. So you close on the purchase. And then back to back, you have your exit buyer waiting, and he immediately buys the property from you for $450,000. So he got a $50,000 discount off the current worth. So let me just kind of tell you how much money you might have made there. You sell the property for $450 minus the $350 you paid. So that leaves you $100,000, and then take off, I'm just going to round $20,000 in expenses. That's $80,000 in profit. And then you split this profit as a fee to the negotiation team. You walk away with $40,000 and did not even have to spend the money to buy the property. Cha-ching! All you had to do was work with a realtor and seller to put together qualified buyers and sellers. That's it. That's your job. Everything else is done for you. So, now that you've heard this strategy, where do you think you would want to begin? This is where the rubber meets the road, taking action, and you have to decide. Do you want to look into other options for real estate investing further? Coaching You to Profit teaches steps for 11 different strategies, not just this one. Do you want to put together the elements I provide you here and do the steps on your own? Or do you want to learn and know what there is to learn and know about real estate investing with someone walking you through the steps, helping you to overcome any obstacles you run into, helping you to find answers to the questions you will have? Would you like to be walked through the process, or do you feel ready to do it on your own? I suggest you download the free report found on this page, which documents in a little more detail everything I just trained you on. And then you decide. I have found that even the best athletes always have coaches and are finding maximum success by doing so. I have several mentors, coaches, and training programs I utilize myself often. I think it's vital in order to stay on top to have someone that you can turn to when you're learning, especially if somebody new. But that's just what I think. What's important is what you think. And I want to invite you to look over the information and details shown on this and the following page. It would be a privilege and an honor to train and mentor you through my Coaching You to Profits program. I want to encourage you to hit the Show Me the Way button now if you're ready to get started today. I'm looking forward to enjoying success with you as you are trained and coached in a way that accommodates your budget, your schedule, your lifestyle. Happy investing.